Matt, you're the founder and the CEO of Monty's Bakehouse, yeah?
Yeah, I am.
I think before we go on with this interview, this discussion, can you just tell us why it's called Monty's?
Because I couldn't think of a really good name. So it's this very true story. I just started the business and I got my first listing for these products, which we design, and we have other people make them all over the world now. But I started with a really small place, and I got it listed in a bunch of stores up in Sheffield. And the guy was asking me, was going to ask me, what's the name of my company? And I was pulled up at the Sheffield station, and I was just writing on the wall, and I knew I wanted Bakehouse. And when you looked double through something out the back, through a window and beyond, there was a poster for the full Monty, because it was Sheffield. So I just wrote Monty's on top of Bakehouse, and I went, that'll do. I think I can work with that. That's got heritage. It feels familiar, sounds friendly.
There you go.
And that was it.
I thought it was your middle name,
No.
Matthew Monty. In all seriousness, today is about celebrating you and your company. So we've distributed as a charity around about just under 400,000 fresh meals to those in need. But in addition to that, did you know, and I'm reading off the script here, that you've also provided, in addition to that, 312,000 Monty's products?
I did know that to a degree. I don't know everywhere where they've gone, because I know we've been doing a lot to try and help some of the charitable interests that you guys have, because I know looking after people during the pandemic's been close to your heart. So when you said that was something you wanted us to get involved in, that was very natural for us to say, let's help. But perhaps something you don't know is how many we've distributed in total over the pandemic. So it's actually, we've fed over 1 million people.
That's amazing. That's really humbling to hear that. I mean, it chokes you up thinking about it, really, because the product's great anyway, and we'll come on to that. But we've sent these to over 20 charities, and they love them. They just love them. It's just a fantastic product. I've been to your showroom down south, and it's fantastic. Your exec chef there is amazing. And to think that these go to 40,000 feet in the sky, and they've now gone into people's homes, into their stomachs, to homeless people that have had nothing, is an amazing thing to do. Some of those charities only a payment away, just to name but one. And Adam Smith at the Real Junk Food Project took delivery of some.
Right.
And they are so well received, and you need to be praised for that. 1 million Monty's products have gone to help people that were suffering food poverty. It's just awesome, and well done to you.
Thank you.
Your main client is the airline industry, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's suffering a little bit, or quite more than a little bit, during this current pandemic. So
I mean, it has. We've been hit quite hard.
What are you going to do to rise up again like the phoenix? What's your plan with this great product?
I think the first thing that I would say is I just thank my team for everything they've done over 2020, and they've been unstoppable in terms of not just the work that they wanted to do for us to try and help us recover, but the charity work as well. So you mentioned our culinary chef Phil. He opened up kitchens in 3 hospitals as well during the pandemic when it first kicked off, and just basically just fed the nurses and the doctors as they came through. So we were doing that for 3 or 4 months. And I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to answer it from a people's perspective, because that's what's so humbling when you get to something like a crisis like this, and you realise just what a genuine privilege it is to work for some of the people. And you've got great people as well, and they have helped us turn around. And sadly, we've had to let some of them go, but we've helped every single one get another job. And we're there for them. They're part of our family, and we've sadly had to do that. But the unit we've got, the guys that we've got left, we are starting to turn that corner now. So we're trying to break into, with the work we're doing with you into schools and into food service when it comes, but also into retail as well. So that's going quite well at the moment.
You could call that retail one the full Monty, couldn't you? I mean,
we could call it the full Monty.
I'll take the credit for that.
How much per case? How much per case?
Just another 1 million cases of lettuces will be great, thank you. Because they're famous now. I delivered some of them to some homeless shelters and to some women's refuge centres, and I get emails back, and I'll just read one out to you now. This is an email, a genuine email from a homeless man that logged on. It's really quite touching, this. He said, "Dear Monty," because he thinks my name's Monty, "I'd like to thank you for the food you gave us, in particular the hot lettuces that I believe go to first-class customers normally. I couldn't have survived without it." And one more, and this has gone to somebody who's been eating cornflakes. This is dreadful. Cornflakes Monday to Friday to save enough money for their children to have hot food. And so we've been delivering food packs to them, and we just boosted them with the Monty's product. And I wrote back to her, so I'm going backwards now, to say, what was the food like? And she said, the Monty's food was great, thank you. She didn't mention mine. So this is all about brand awareness.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we understand the need for this product, the need for this food aid to go to those that have nothing.
Yeah.
And we'll keep working with you to do that. A couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Is it true that you ride a few motorbikes?
I do ride a few motorbikes, yeah. Yeah.
And, what's your favourite motorbike?
Would be a Ducati 848.
That's going to cost you a lot of money when I finish this call, and you know why. Couple of questions for you. You're going to expand the brand abroad, aren't you? You've been over in Singapore, is it? Doing some work over there?
That's right. We are our parent now, because I sold the business, but also I wanted to put it into good hands. My two boys viewed it as a hard work, so they didn't want to get at it in the way that I have. But that's not fair. One's a musician and one's a psychologist who just want to do different things, and so they should. They shouldn't live my dream. So you're quite right to say that what I'm trying to do now is try and bring our passion for innovation and new ideas and design into a much larger food company in Singapore. So I'm spending a lot of time there when I can get there. Well,
if we can help with that by ourselves or through our contacts, because the product is superb, then we'll certainly do that for you. You've earned that right. You're one of the most humble people I know, and to consider you've taken 1 million products and put that into feeding communities and through other projects is just massive, and you deserve a lot of credit for that, you and your team. And we wanted to thank you today for being a part of our journey, and just to expose the reality behind the brand that is Matt, the founder, the ideas man and the CEO. So keep doing what you're doing. And once again,
we will, but also you've got to remember that you and I have got something in common as well, apart from a passion of two wheels, which is we're blessed because we're actually both founders of our businesses. So as long as we're programmed in the right way to want to actually help other people, we have the gift of being able to do that. We're not held in by any form of corporate governance or structure. We can do what we want. And I think that's something that perhaps the independent business community needs to remember, particularly in a crisis like this. And I think that community has shown itself quite well during this crisis and has dug deep by and large. And there's some amazing stories out there of things that people have done. And long may that continue. But the country, whether pandemic or not, it has a homeless problem per se. And it's not going to go away once COVID goes away. So, it's something we've all got to just remember. We're lucky, we're privileged. Give some of it away when you can.
Yeah, I wrote that bit for me to say, and you just said that. But I agree with everything you're saying. And I think that I'll just say two things, really. One is about kindness. There's been a heightening of kindness during this pandemic. And there are tens of thousands of examples of that. You've got people like you. You've got our own teams. You've got people like Lewis at the Empty Kitchens Brigade in Edinburgh, feeding £3,000. Sorry, 2,000 to 3,000 people a day. You've got Adam Smith and the Real Junk Food Project. There are so many of them, so many of them. And then a bit of the bad came out as well. I think we've all experienced a bit of the bad, and we won't name that because they know who they are. But one thing I've noticed is relationships have suffered during this pandemic because of the Zoom culture. You know, it's a lot more clipped on a meeting. You can't get a physical feel for that relationship. And I think if people just remember that when this pandemic goes away, their actions will be recorded. And that's just my message. Just be kind.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be aggressive.
It's good for the soul as well, huh?
It is.
You feel better when you do that.
Yeah, you do. You do feel better. Well, I've got nothing else to say to you, young man, but thank you. And
well, thank you. Thanks for all of your support of us as well. And, you know, long may we continue in the partnership that we've started.
Yeah,
it's a good
we will.
thing.